Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Tonight we are cooking spaghetti frittata. It's got not many ingredients in it, so it's really quick and easy to cook. For those of you that don't know what a frittata is, it is basically a quiche without pastry. So they can be quite healthy and they are very easy to make because you can put anything you want in it as long as you add your eggs and your milk. Put it in a dish in the oven, put whatever you want in it. Anyway, I thought I'd try this one because I have got a tin of spaghetti in the cupboard and I was wondering, I don't want to open it just to have a little bit of spaghetti because spaghetti is one of those childhood things that I used to love eating and I didn't want to use half a tin of spaghetti and have the other half go to waste. So therefore I thought, well, if I make a frittata out of it, I can have my spaghetti and my dinner and it's all good. So this is what we need. This is going to serve 4 people. So come on in and I'll show you what I've got ready for us. All right, so first of all, oven on to 160 if it's fan forced, 180 if it's not. I'm going to do mine on 180 but just not cook it for as long because I want to make sure that it cooks right through. I like my frittata to be well cooked. Okay, so you need a square dish that holds about 4 cups, so that one should be fine. Give that a spray. All right, 6 eggs, those are in there. We're going to crack them and then pop them in a jug. Half a cup of milk. I am still using the Zimmel easy to digest low fat milk, lactose free. Gone through another one of those, which is, I've really got to take my rubbish out, but that's not your problem, that's mine. So I've got half a cup of that. A third of a cup of roughly chopped parsley. I got a bunch and just chopped it all up. It made me think back to when I first started cooking because my mama would actually sit there for me and pick the leaves off the stems off the bunch and chop them all up for me. So there's another thing that she used to do for me that I didn't realise until today. 100 grams of button mushrooms which were sliced up. I've got extra. I've popped those in the freezer for next time. 1 cup of grated tasty cheese. This is a low fat one. And finally our can of spaghetti. Any flavour you want. If you want the one with cheese sauce, go for it. As I said, I've had this one in the cupboard for quite a while. I would absolutely love to make a nostalgic cheese and spaghetti toasty, but then I've got half a can in the fridge that will probably go to waste. So I'm not about wasting food. I'm about using it resourcefully. So next time I go to the supermarket, if I buy the little tins, like I had with some little tins of baked beans, that is what I will buy if I want toasties. So you pay a bit more, but you're not wasting it. So at the end of the day, that's the best thing ever. All right, so now that you know what we're doing, let's get there. Let's get it going. Serve it with a salad, hot or cold, it's entirely up to you. So first of all, we're going to set this one aside because we don't need it for the time being. We need a whisk and then we will need a spoon after. The reason why we're going to need a spoon after is because everything gets stuck in the whisk otherwise. All right, so 6 eggs, which, yes, most of you do buy, if you buy your eggs in a dozen, which you do most of the times, you can actually get trays that are bigger than a dozen, so that's why I say it's half a tray of eggs. Right, as you know, I like to crack them into a cup just to make sure that there's nothing nasty going on, or shell. Obviously at one of my jobs I spend a lot of time cracking eggs if I'm making hamburgers, so sort of get used to cracking eggs and making sure there's no shell in it, obviously, because who wants shell in their eggs? No one. No one at all. Now these eggshells are good for your compost bin. If you don't have one, I suggest that if you're going to be cooking a lot at home, get one. It's the best thing you can do, especially for if you have a garden. If you're going to cook at home, try and grow your own herbs if you can. That way it will save you a bit of money in the long run. And as I was told many years ago, eggshells seemingly deter slugs and snails from eating your plants. They don't always do it, but they're a lot more, I guess, friendlier than those slug repellent capsule pellety things that I've brought for the garden, because I don't like slugs. I don't like them on my garden either. Okay. So before we put the milk in, we're just going to give that a whip. Okay. Into that, we also need the milk. Oops. Do it without spilling it. In goes that parsley. This is the time where you want to say, buy whisk and get yourself a stirring spoon. A big wooden spoon should be fine, or that one. I like that one. Okay, stir that in. In go those mushrooms. They look so good, those button mushrooms. Now, if you don't want to use mushrooms, there is a variation. You can swap that for zucchini or some onion. Or put all of it in. If you want to add a few extra veggies, add a little bit of zucchini and add a little bit of onion as well. But I'm just going with the mushrooms. Add half of the cheese, because the rest is going on the top. Alright, you should have something that looks like that. Okay, now we've already sprayed our cooking pan. So what we need to do is open our tin of spaghetti and pop this on the bottom. So yeah, as I said, any spaghetti you like in a tin. If you want the alphabet one, go for it. If you want the one with the little sausages or the meatballs in it, yeah, go for it. That as well. Alright. Spread that along the bottom. Just make sure that it's spread from corner to corner, otherwise someone's going to get more spaghetti than the other person. And you know what we say, it would suck to be them. Alright, so this is one way to get your spaghetti without wasting a tin. Alright, see that? That's really well distributed. Now, just quite simply pour the jug over the top. Make sure your mushrooms are the same, all evenly distributed. You've got your parsley in there. With the parsley, it doesn't have to be finely chopped. I just chopped it up finely so that it could go in the freezer for later, the rest of it. Alright, that's looking good. Now just sprinkle the rest of the cheese on top. My cheese is frozen because I keep it in the bottom of the freezer. That one that I just brought is a new one, and it's really good because it's got a zip lock, which means that I don't need to worry about elastic bands or anything to close it. Alright, so that is going in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes, or until the eggs are set and the cheese is golden. So I will see you when it's done. Okay, so I gave it an extra 5 minutes just because it felt wobbly in the middle, which is a no-no with a frittata. You don't want it to be wobbly. So I just cut it. It still looks like it's not cooked. So I'm going to have to put it back in the oven. We need this to be set. It's going back in. That's how you can tell if it's done. That is not set. So that's going back in the oven probably for about another 10 minutes. So I didn't treat my oven as a fan-forced oven this time, but it wasn't good. All right, so we'll be back. Okay, so I don't want to cook it any longer, otherwise I'm just going to burn it. So I'm leaving it at that. So cut it into 4. It will set while it's cooling if it's not quite set. And you've sort of got to think maybe it could be a little bit of the sauce from the spaghetti as well. So this has been spaghetti frittata. You've been watching Cooking with Violet Vixen. I'm going to catch you soon on another adventure.